support that is available for people who need a little bit of extra support, who need some help and perhaps don't know where to turn. So in studio with me now is Dilnaz Garda with Toronto Beyond the Blue. We were talking a little bit off camera about this organization and how, I'll get you to speak to it, how it really supports police officers and their families.
Yeah, that's our main focus. The backstory to that is that my brother was a Toronto police officer and he was involved in a critical shooting. He struggled with his mental health. He developed PTSD and unfortunately he died by suicide in 2016. And it was then that we realized that, we felt very alone. We thought it was just our family and just my brother going through this. We realized we were not. There are so many family members and officers who just from, their job, hour to hour, witnessing trauma, dealing with trauma, that they struggle as well. And so from that, Toronto Beyond the Blue was something that allowed us to provide resources, mental health supports, not just for officers and civilian members, but for their families. Mm-hmm. When an officer comes home, they kind of unravel to their family. They can kind of decompress.
Mm-hmm. And so there's that comfort there.
Yeah, and so if something's wrong, we see it at home. Mm-hmm. And I certainly didn't know where to turn. And with Toronto Beyond the Blue, we're hoping that it provides a safe, confidential space for family members, officers, civilian members to come forward and say, I need help. Mm-hmm. Or, I know someone who needs help. Mm-hmm. And then we start the process of getting help.
And how popular has it become now that people know that this is an option, but it's also independent from Toronto Police Services or other police services in our province?
That's so important. So, I've got the great support of Chief Saunders and the TPS as well as the association. But it is so important that we remain independent because sometimes, officers and their family members don't feel safe going to the service. And so they certainly then think, okay, we're an independent organization, we can come, we're arm's length. So nothing's going to get relayed back. And I think that's really important. Mm-hmm. And we're so proud because Canada Beyond the Blue is a national organization. And I'm a sister chapter of that. So we have chapters in Vancouver, Calgary, OPP, Niagara, Durham, Peel. So you can tell that there's a need. Mm-hmm. And so wherever there's a service, there's an opportunity to open up a chapter.
Mm-hmm. So if there is a police officer or someone who is related to a police officer or knows an officer who maybe could use someone to talk to, how does that support come into play? How do they reach out to the organization?
Yeah, that's great. So on our website, torontobeyondtheblue.com, you can email us, you can call us, and I get that a lot. I see a colleague who's in trouble, can you please reach out? Or my partner, my brother, my whoever is on the job needs help, how can we take the first step? Mm-hmm. And it's completely private and confidential. I can't emphasize that enough, but just reach out. It can be through email, call, and our turnaround is very quick. I have a team of volunteers and they're all family members of officers, and they all have jobs. So we work tirelessly because we have a vested interest in it and we know it's important.
Mm-hmm. I do want to ask you about something that's coming up in June at Queen's Park, something that's close to your heart, and how to remember officers who do die by suicide.
Yeah, so right now, there's no memorial to honor officers who die by suicide. And last year, there were quite a few officers who did die by suicide. And so we're going to have a memorial at Queen's Park June 13th. And this is Ontario-wide. The website for that is heroesinlife.com. And we want to honor the service, how they serve their communities. But we want to offer the families an opportunity to grieve. Right now, there's no record of these officers. There's no way to honor and remember them. And this is what we want to offer, that opportunity.
And what would that mean to you and your family, given what you guys have gone through with the loss of your brother, to have that opportunity to grieve through a memorial like this?
It would mean everything. Yeah. They serve, and the struggle that we have to go through, and then to be forgotten or not to be acknowledged, and the stigma around that really just can be so damaging to the survivors, right? And that's what we want to focus on, that there are a family of survivors who need to grieve, who need closure, but we also want to bring awareness and positivity to that. And so we have families who have signed up on our website, heroesinlife.com, to put their police member on the honor roll. And if there are families out there that would like to do that, please go ahead.
Well, I think the work you guys are doing is just incredible. We appreciate you taking the time to share your story, because we know it's not easy, but that's what today is about. Let's Talk is talking, and we appreciate it. So thank you.
Thank you.
And I'll send things back to you, G.